Okay.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Montessori Midweek live stream. We're happy to have you with us today. And this week is, of course, a very important week for all of us in the field of education because it is Teacher Appreciation Week. So happy Teacher Appreciation Week to everyone. Anna, you too, because you are a teacher. So we're celebrating you today as well.
Oh, thank you.
And we wanted to do something special this week from AIM to all the teachers out there. So we are actually going to offer everyone a free Montessori professional development course. So it's a $99 value. We have over 20 courses to choose from, all different topics for all different age levels. So you can log onto our website and check out our courses. And there's social media posts up in a few minutes here that will give you exactly how to redeem this free course for yourself. Please share with other Montessori teachers, share with, if you're an administrator, share with your faculty and staff. They range from 12 to 30 hours and they cover a variety of topics. So there should be something for everyone who wants to continue their Montessori learning journey available there. But do go ahead and log on today or tomorrow or Friday because this offer ends Friday at 11:59. So you have just a few days to redeem the course and enjoy it. But we wanted to do that for all the teachers out there to wish you a very happy Teacher Appreciation Week. So we hope you enjoy that.
Wow, what a gift.
Certainly do. Yes.
That's cute, Anna. Grab one.
Yes.
And so we're excited today too, because we have a great topic that I think is really relevant to teachers everywhere today because it is about observation and how to record keep and how to keep track of your students, which is such an important element of Montessori training and Montessori education in general. And so with us, we have Anna Cook, who is an amazing Montessori teacher and also
Anna.
Hello.
MRX Montessori Records Express. So Anna, tell us a little bit about your Montessori journey and about what you do these days.
Sure, thank you. I'm so happy to be here, and I just want to send a hug out to all the teachers out there. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. We appreciate you every single day. So I guess my Montessori journey started when I was like in middle school. So my little brother went to an in-home Montessori program, and I would spend my summers kind of helping out there. And then from then on, I just kind of knew that I always wanted to work with children. So I continued to do that in my spare time, my work, volunteering. I ended up going to school for business marketing. But even during that time, I knew that I wanted to be a teacher. So I continued exploring what Montessori was. And I started looking into programs for a master's in early childhood education. I found a job as a teaching assistant in a local Montessori school. So I started working. I fell in love with all of the materials. I did my training, got my degree, and then moved to Charlottesville, Virginia. Started working there as a lead teacher. Let's see. And then after my first child was born, I took a leave from the classroom and started my own little in-home care situation with infant and toddlers. And I really loved that. That was really sweet. And then I started working for MRX, and that's been a great opportunity. I get to work with Montessorians all around the world and help them with record keeping, observations, just really trying to organize their reporting so it's easier. And now I do Montessori coaching and substitute teaching on the side.
Nice.
You're so busy.
I like to juggle things.
Yes. So many.
And you've got so much experience in so many different aspects of Montessori. So like the teaching assistant, the in-home, like homeschool Montessori, and like Montessori classroom and record keeping. So I feel like you have a great perspective on all of this and can help a variety of people with the issues they're facing. So that's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I definitely have some experiences of trial and error that I can share too.
Well, that's how we learn. We learn from
Don't we all?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we still make mistakes all the time, but that's how we get better at all that we do. So
Truly.
Absolutely.
So we met Anna at the National Center for Montessori in the Public Sector Conference last month. And it's always great when you're at a conference and you have your booth and it's set up next to someone who's awesome and friendly and you get to talk to them all day for multiple days in a row. So we got to know Anna there, and Anna and I actually went to a session together at one point because it was very quiet in the exhibition hall. So we snuck away to enjoy some learning. And when we were in that session, we were sitting together, and one of the topics that came up from a variety of folks in the room was the issue of observation and just how hard it is to fit it into a busy daily schedule in a classroom full of students. And just, multiple people raised their hands and were saying, like, this is impossible. I don't know how to manage it. And I just saw Anna's brain going, like she had so many ideas. So here is your opportunity to share with us the ways that we can master this art of observation and record keeping in a Montessori classroom. So I can't wait to see what you have to say here.
During that session, I feel like I just really resonated with everyone's feelings when they were raising their hands and voicing their concerns, because I too went through that exact feeling of feeling overwhelmed and what's the best way to organize all of the observations that I'm making? There are 25 kids in this room. Like, how do I know where they're supposed to be? Especially for a novice new teacher, maybe new to Montessori or brand new to teaching, it can be very overwhelming. So you tend to go into the Montessori field because you love that one-on-one connection with the students, doing the lessons and not necessarily doing all of the clerical work that goes along with being a teacher. So as I was sitting there thinking, like, oh man, I remember having just all of my notes and then at the end of the day being like, what do I do with it? So when I first started teaching, everything I did was on pen with pen and paper. And then my school brought on MRX. And as I learned the tools in the system, I was very thankful because the more that I used the system when it came to reporting time and giving those official documents to the administrator or to your parents, it was seamless, just a matter of clicking a few buttons because I had done all my tracking in the system. So whether or not you're going to use an official online record keeping tool like MRX, you do need to put your information on a computer. Step one. I mean, I feel like it's almost like it's important to say because a lot of us are trained to make those handwritten notes, and that's beautiful and lovely, but you do need to give yourself a break, put it in the computer so that when it comes to reporting time, you can do your job faster, easier, smarter.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think number one is having the appropriate tools. And there are a number of record keeping tools out there. And I highly recommend scheduling a tour and having those meetings so that you can see the different kinds of tools that are available. So Montessori Records Express, we have a number of different screens just to do your observations, just to have all of your lessons available for you to view and to track. You can do so on a grid, you can do so on a list, you can do so in a calendar, you can do so by verbally stating what you see going in the classroom. Lots of different tools out there. So explore what's available, have those meetings so that you can find out what tools work best for you.
Mm-hmm. I love that you can dictate because I feel like that would be, a very easy way to accomplish everything you need to accomplish and express it in your very own words without having to type. So cool way to be able to record. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's much easier to just say Emerson practiced the binomial cube than to write it down or to type it out or to maybe find it on your grid to tap that that cell.
Love that.
Candace is really into technology, so I'm sure she's on board with that online chat.
I took a sneak peek when we were at the conference, and I was impressed. And Anna and I are going to sit down together and see how we can use MRX for AIM, because I think it's a really great resource for our students and our staff and faculty. So we haven't gotten there yet. Been really busy, but that is on our agenda of things to do eventually.
Yeah. And if I could just say, what's really nice about doing a system like MRX is that you'll have the support to learn. We'll teach you how to use the system. So you never feel like you now have a whole new hurdle of, oh, I have to learn a brand new technology on the computer. Like, no, we'll sit down with you and we'll train you. And there's lots of little baby steps to take.
I think there's so many times that Candace and I have hopped on a new platform to make our lives easier. And at first, right, it feels overwhelming. But as soon as you get over that hurdle, as soon as you're able to master it, it makes your life so much easier. So I can get the overwhelm of starting something new, but the reward of investing your time and energy in it is huge, right? Time-wise, and
yes. You want your weekends for yourself. You want your after school time to yourself, not to do your record keeping.
What's do you have any stories about teachers that have implemented your technology and maybe their school got it for them and they were a little bit resistant at first, but then they were amazed and so thrilled with it in the end? What has your experiences been with teachers?
Yeah, so we like I said, we will sit down and train with teachers, and if it's available, we'll even go and do on-site visits. So a lot of times, like my school in particular, so we were using pen and paper, and everyone was doing a little bit different based off of what they learned from their training. So what they were given during their training might not have been exactly what works best for them, but they continued to use it, even though it might have, just because that's what they learned, right? So after they had their training session with MRX, they were amazed. I think what blows people away is the time they don't have to spend to do their reporting, because it was taking them, I'm not even exaggerating when I say months in advance to prepare for their conferences. So with that training of, this is how you use MRX, this is how you use the system, this is how you implement your tracking on a daily basis. So when it came to conference time, they only needed to tap one button and then all of the reports were generated for them. You can go, if you make your comments throughout the year as you are giving lessons, making little comments. So when it comes to reporting time, you can bring up those comments and there's your narrative for the student. So I think that's typically the overwhelming response to when people start using an online system, is that the time that they save.
Yeah.
And I bet parents love it too, because you're getting so much more because it's accumulating over the course of the months instead of just one statement about your child written at the end of the period of time where you're going in for your conference. You get a much broader look at what's been going on throughout the school year. And I think as a parent, I would love that. And I told Anna earlier, I still have a bunch of my little handwritten notes from my kids' Montessori school when they were there. I kept the cute ones or the ones where they did something horrible. I kept those. I would love to have it all in digital form, because then I could have all of it, to look back on and reminisce.
Yeah, I think that portion of connecting the circle between family and school is really important. And if you use a system that you can seamlessly communicate, it really lowers the hurdles that you have to jump through. And you can certainly customize how much you want to share with parents or caregivers. But if you are one who likes to take pictures throughout the day or videos, that's an amazing way to do your student tracking. So I always say, if you have a tablet in the classroom, allow your assistant to take pictures and videos throughout the day. So even if it's not like, oh, this child accomplished the work, it can be this child is maybe stuck on the work. Take a picture of it, because then it lets the lead teacher know where that child is. And you can use those pictures to share with parents later.
Absolutely.
I would love that. I used to love getting like texts and emails with pictures. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. My son's teacher does that, and it makes it, I save all those pictures, and I love them so much. It's fun.
Yeah, it allows you to get into the classroom a little bit, right? It's like their secret little world that they're there all day, you know? You want to see what's going on, even if it's just a little sneak peek.
Exactly.
So that was the tools. You had 3 topics, like 3 tips. So that I feel like tools are, we've covered tools, and then you said techniques and time. So what other advice do you have for those?
Yeah. So once you find tools that work for you, really, and this all kind of snowballs together, right? So as you get the tools, you'll develop techniques that work for you. So again, if you're going to take pictures throughout the day, that's an awesome technique to not only visually see what your students are up to, but have that as a way to communicate with parents. But develop a technique, or more importantly, a routine. So if you don't typically plan lessons throughout the day, start doing that and see what that does for your routine. And your plans will develop as you make your observations. And your observations should happen on a regular basis, finding at least one period of the day to do an observation. So as you plan, you can start your day knowing, hey, I've got XYZ to sit down with these 3 friends. So let's put it on a calendar. And again, we know that in Montessori, we follow the child. But what a plan will do is just help you kind of guide that child to maybe areas that they're missing. So we all know that record keeping is important. We need it for, to make sure that children are succeeding and reaching benchmarks and da-da-da-da. But it also is really important to make sure that there is equity in the classroom, that all students are being met in all areas that are developmentally appropriate for them. And sometimes, that really busy child over there in the corner who's quiet and happily working, like, that's wonderful. We want to see repetition, but also to connect to see what is the interest that will then lead you to plan that next lesson. So it's all about making the connections within the classroom. So that's why I try to explain that planning is really important part of your record keeping. So yeah, reviewing your plan and including the students in the plans is also a wonderful way of making them a part of the whole record keeping process. So a lot of times if I'm in the classroom, let's say on a Monday, and I might be there for a couple of days, I will encourage some of my older primary kids to make a plan with me. As a substitute, I don't exactly know what every child's doing, right? So if I say, let's look at the most recent lesson that you've had, what area of the classroom do you want to work in? Oh, math, let's go over to the math shelf so we can physically see the materials. And here's a list of the lessons that you've had in math, and have that open dialogue with them so that they feel that they have the independence to choose and the responsibility to complete their work, and a little bit of guidance.
And that's nice too, because it kind of segues into lower elementary where they do make their work plans. So it's like giving them a taste of what's to come, and that independence and that responsibility for your own work. So that's awesome. It's a great idea.
And that's a good point to bring up, that the tools that you choose and the techniques you choose are going to differ between the different levels that you teach in. So an infant toddler might focus more on, toileting behaviors and feedings and things like that, versus elementary, where you do need to have more autonomy, allowing them to pick and choose and create projects, plans. So yeah, it's definitely going to differ depending on what level.
Well, but MRX has the ability to, like, you reach all levels and you can like customize it, right, to meet the needs of whoever is working within that platform.
Yes, it's completely customizable. And number one thing that you should take away from the tools and technique portion of this conversation is that you need to have your own lessons available to you in a spreadsheet. So if your training center provides you with lessons, that's a wonderful way to, utilize them. If you build your own albums, utilize the ones that are in your albums. If you don't have accessibility to such things, look at your shelves and make a sequential order of the materials in your shelf and add the lessons that go along with it. But having that filing system, that organization, is going to lead you to a successful way of tracking your students.
I love it. Organization makes me happy.
Yes. We like spreadsheets.
Yeah.
Prettier spreadsheets.
I like it even better when spreadsheets are in a tool so that they're prettier.
Yeah.
Or I send them to Carolyn and I'm like, can you make this better?
But all that is amazing to have. So
yes.
That's cool.
It is.
Yeah.
So how much time should people be spending on observation and record keeping? Like if they have an efficient, if they have the tools and they have the techniques down, like what kind of time are teachers spending on this?
So if you don't do any record keeping in your classroom right now, I'm gonna set you up for an easy start. Okay. So every time you give a presentation, you have to sit down and document that. And take that time to add a comment. So whether it said, you can say something like, child was motivated to sit with me, child was engaged, child was distracted, child asked about what was for snack today. Like make those notes, because even those little tiny comments will help you find a connection about what is going to lead you to the next lesson or where the child stands. And it's also fun to see the progression of, I gave this presentation and they were more interested about snack, but the next time we sat together, they were totally engaged. So it's fun to look back on those notes, and it's important. So give the presentation, sit down, make that initial tick off of your list of my presentations, make the comment, and now it's time to observe what everyone else is doing in the classroom. So that is going to motivate you to start a routine of getting out your tools and utilizing them. So that's like the daily kind of upkeep. But when it comes to doing the hard observation time that Maria Montessori wants us to do, because let's remember, she was first a scientist and she is an observer, and Montessori wouldn't be what it is today without her keen observation skills. Mm-hmm. So here we are, it's 10 o'clock. False fatigue is happening in the classroom. And what do you want to do? You want to go and you want to start helping your friends find works or, redirect. Maybe what they actually need is to see you being a model of, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to use this time to be still and observe. If you don't already have an observation chair in your classroom for guests to come and observe your classroom or for you to sit down in, implement that in your classroom. And you can talk about it when you bring it in. This is our little stool. This is the observation chair. This is how we use it. This is a silent space. I'm going to be doing my work, and explain to them what your work is. I'm watching my friends work. You're all really busy here. So I'm going to write that down and I'm going to share it with your family, because you should be really proud of that. So it makes them understand, what your responsibility is and how to utilize this space. And experiment with it. See if students will come and use that observation chair whenever they feel like they need a moment to sit and have a moment.
I love this so much because when I think I've been learning about observation in Montessori more and more lately. And again, I'm not a Montessorian. So I learn something new every day and I love it. And I don't automatically think of relationship when I hear observation in a classroom. But the undercurrent of everything you've said is that it's building relationship with your students, with the students with each other, with the students and their families. And it's just so foundational to the operation of a Montessori classroom and helping everyone connect and grow and learn together. And I love it. I've told Carolyn this, and we're not there yet, but I really want to do a whole course just on observation, a short professional development course, because I think it's something like I hear so much, and we heard so much positive feedback about it around our summit too. And Carolyn's going to talk a little bit about the summit presentation that we're going to make available, but I think it's just such a key concept, and that's just what I keep coming back to observation. So be on the lookout for that.
Awesome. I would love to see that.
Maybe you
And
can help us with it.
Oh, absolutely. I would love that opportunity. And I think AIM does a really beautiful job of keeping the spiritual side of Montessori in their training, because that is such an important aspect. So observation really is kind of that self-reflection period too. Everybody needs that in their life. And you can't be the best teacher if you don't take the time to reflect on what's going on in your environment, and what's going on with you.
Yep.
Well, that's awesome. Well, I hope you will come work on that with us. Be careful. Candace and I will rein people in. We just like, great, let's work together.
You're really good at this. You can help us with this. Please.
It's good to have a team. It's really good to have a team.
So we are all about the teamwork around here. So
yeah, awesome.
Well, if you want to check out Montessori Records Express, here's the website. We'll also post it on our social media sites and give you access to it in the comments and things like that. But it's definitely a resource that you might want to look at. There are other resources too, but if you're not finding the time to observe, and if you're doing it on paper still, you may be able to save yourself a lot of time. And I know it's the end of the school year, but planning for next school year is a good time to start approach how you want to perhaps make your life a little easier moving into the 2024-25 year. So please do check that out. We have a presentation from our January summit on observation, and it focuses on infant toddler primarily, but it has a lot of good information for anyone. So we're going to go ahead and put that up on our website. So if you visit and I'll put that in the comments and post on social media too, but you can access that summit presentation on observation if you want to learn more, if you need more tips and techniques on those things.
That's the web address on where it'll be, but I will get it up there in the next hour or so.
Yeah, we're always, working here. And then finally, please do log onto the website and grab a course, and enhance your Montessori knowledge. We are happy to give these away. The code is AIM Teachers, and that'll be good until, again, Friday at 11:59. So please do take advantage of that. All the courses are eligible except for our Montessori assistant courses. So any course other than that, you can take advantage of. So please do that. Anna, thank you so much for talking with us today. It's good to get to talk to you again. I missed you over the last month. So hopefully we'll catch up again soon. Candace and I want to see how we can incorporate MRX into AIM's training program too. So we're gonna partner on that as well. But,
yes. Amazing. Thank you, Carolyn and Candace. I really appreciate your time as well.
Thank you.
Yeah, everyone. Yeah, we'll definitely talk soon. Everybody have a great rest of the week. Enjoy all of this. I hope that your students are spoiling you. I hope that your PTOs are giving you snacks and all kinds of good stuff this week. So enjoy the rest of your Teacher Appreciation Week. And the end of the school year is right around the corner. So
we can do it.
Yeah, you're doing great.
All right. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.
See
Bye,
you.
everyone.